What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy Jeffers for episode 1 of What's the Alternative podcast. I got my first special guest in here. Everybody knows him. He's well loved in the community. My guy, Anthony Atkinson. What's up, bro?
Doing good, man.
How you doing?
Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man. So I got a couple questions for you, just to dive right into it. I just want to talk about some real things. This podcast is basically about, what's the alternative outside of sports. So, like, everybody always thinks they're going to the NBA or the NFL or wherever it may be, play professional. That's all our dreams,
Right.
but it's not reality.
That's right.
So, what's the alternative? So, tell me a little bit about your upbringing with your family and how it affected you and made you the person that you are today.
Well, I think it started out with, of course, I'm right here from Wilson, North Carolina, and I had a strong family base, in my house with my father, Anthony Atkinson Sr., who was a coach and well-known here in the area of Wilson back at Bedingfield High School. And I had my mother, Vivian Atkinson, who was well-known in the community as well, at Fayetteville State Bronco, and, working all in Wilson her whole life. So, they brought me up, and I had a lot of strong moral values that
Right.
instilled in me. And I think that has helped me, be the man I am today, and it helped
Right.
me be successful, stand on me about hard work, never giving up and going out here. The main thing is also treating people the right way.
Right.
And doing things how you're supposed to do, even when people are watching or when they're not watching. And those are things that stuck with me, and making me go to church and making me know that everything that happens to me comes from, and all glory belongs to God. And I think it helped, me not only be the person I am today, but also helped me inspire others
Right.
to help with those same traits and instill in them as well. And now that I have a family of my own, 2 kids and a wife,
Right.
I'm instilling the same things that my father and mother instilled in me into my 2 young boys. So,
Right.
it comes full circle, man.
That's major. So, I'm going to ask you some questions that
All right.
everybody's been wanting to ask you, but I'm going to ask you right here on the podcast so
Right.
people can get the answers. So, you were a big-time star at Bedingfield. What, you kind of started the wave, at least for this area, as far as public to private school.
Mm-hmm.
What, because myself, I went to Greenfield as well. I left Hunt and went to Greenfield. And nothing against the public
Right.
schools. It was just I had to do what was best for me.
Right.
But, a lot of people followed your blueprint. What made you go that direction?
Well, having a father who was actually not just, a father figure, but also a basketball coach and coaching at Bedingfield at the time, he knew the ins and outs of everything that had gone on, not just with me, but players prior to me.
Right.
And being in the system and he seeing things and how it was playing out, he had a vision for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the vision wasn't, coming to pass, so to speak, how he saw it. And there was some things that happened at Bedingfield that, we didn't particularly like too much, I was getting a lot of playing time. People thought it was because I wasn't playing. I was starting as a freshman.
Right.
Playing, and, I was fine, and I started seeing little things happen between myself and the coach, and, just things around the school happening, and my dad felt like it was just, it's time for a change.
Right.
And he sat me down one day, and he said he had reached out to Coach Salter at Greenfield, and Coach Salter, we went over there for a workout, and, Greenfield really wasn't known as a basketball school back then,
Right.
more for soccer, so
Right.
I'm even blown away by, like, what's this all about?
Right.
I go over there, Coach Salter's young, and, he's looking me in my eye, and he's telling me all these things, and, he sold it.
Right.
Everything that we wanted to hear, that's what I wanted to coach.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I think stuck with me was they were going to get me prepared for college, not just on the floor, but off the floor.
Right.
And I needed that, to be prepared for college, educationally. And I went there and I worked out with the team and I saw how things were and I fell in love with it. And it was a big change coming from public to private, coming from Bedingfield to Greenfield, the standard that they had,
Right.
not only for basketball, but for their grades, for their conduct in the classroom, and how you carried yourself, community service hours. It changed my whole mindset of everything. I think that's what I needed.
And a lot of people don't realize that it just changes the perspective of you. Like, we were forced when I went to Greenfield to take public speaking classes.
Right.
And it's just a matter of teaching kids how to interview, how to talk, and how to speak properly when you're in
Right.
front of other people, which carries on through life more so
Exactly
than anything.
Exactly
So
right.
I think that was really huge. So tell me, and your career at Greenfield, who was the best player that you played against that you was just like, oh man, like we can't do nothing with him?
In my career at Greenfield, probably the best player I played against was probably it was actually my first year. We were playing the state championship game, and we played against Randy Pulley.
Okay.
On Word of God.
Okay.
And he was a stud.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was 6'4", 6'5", you know, brolic dude, just wide. And I'm like 5'9", 130, 40 pounds on a good day. There was nothing we could do with him.
Right.
But thankfully, you know, we switched up and went zone on him in the second half, and it threw his rhythm off a little bit. But I mean, I think he finished with probably 26 and 7 and 9. I mean, they were ranked like number 17 in the nation.
Oh wow.
We ended up pulling off the upset because, you know, we just kept at it. You know,
Right.
gave up. But in high school wise, that's probably the number one guy I faced that, you know, brought it out of me. Like, all right, it's time to go at it.
Right.
It's time to go at it.
Yeah. For us, you know, in my age group, you already know. Mr. Wall. John Wall. But he gave us everything. A lot of people don't know this story, but my teammate Jared Hinton, and his dad, I never knew this until like 3 years later after we graduated. But John was kind of cruising on his senior night, and Jared's dad was egging him on the sideline, and John looked at him like, okay, it's over. And I'm telling you, John went for at least 15 straight. It wasn't nothing. He came down and he split between me and Brian, man. And I'm like, man, this dude was, when you know, there's special talents out there, and it's like there's nothing you can do with them, but it's really fun to play against them because they bring the best out of you.
That's what it's all about, competition, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So, take me through your recruitment, the recruitment process, who you played for at AAU, and just take me through your recruitment process and what led you to Campbell at first.
Well, the AAU and the whole recruitment process, man, that played a big part in me actually going off to college, because if it wasn't for AAU, I probably wouldn't have went. You know, it would have been tougher.
Right.
But at first I started playing with the Raleigh Heat, and that was when I first started out, probably 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, I think. And it was me, Shablet Randolph, Howard Bridgers. We were all on the same team, and we were really, really good. And then after that, I went from them to the Greensboro Gators. And that's when they had Big Sap, and our coach was
big time organization.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, now when I'm talking about it, you know, your whole mindset and the perspective of everything changes. The level of tournaments we were going to, the competition you play night in, night out. It won't like no rinky-dink tournaments where you just go and be like, all right, you know we're gonna win. Nah, you will bring your A game every single day.
Right.
And you know, playing with them, you know, and then they brought in other pieces. They brought in Darryl Robinson, who coached at Leesville, and they brought in a couple of his players, and then we merged with another team my second year there. It really opened up a lot of eyes in the college aspect for me. And that blew everything open, because, you know, I was getting a lot of letters from 9th grade on. I think my first college letter ever came from Michigan University, when Brian Ellaby was there. And I remember I was walking around with a Michigan toe biting on. Everybody thought.
Was that the dream school? What was the dream school?
The dream school for me was always either Louisville, because I love Rick Pitino.
Oh, okay.
Louisville, or of course UNC, coming UNC fan. But my dad let me know, like, it's gonna be tough.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not just because he didn't think I could play at that level, but my dad was a realist. He was like, you know, you're 5'9".
Right.
Don't weigh a lot. You know, it's gonna be tough. But
now, man, I'm glad that you say that, because that was one of the topics. We're gonna go ahead and address it. Parents being realistic, and you know, having expectations for their kids, but not seeing it for what it is. Your dad realized, okay, you're short. Basketball is a game of height. So, you know, let's tailor and maneuver, put you in this situation. Like, what do you think about today's era, and what advice can you give to the parents who think that, you know, everybody wants their baby to do well, but some people think their baby's going to do when they're not. Right. So, you know, at what point do you be real, and what advice do you give to parents about, you know, just being realistic about their athletes?
You got to be real off the jump.
Yeah.
Because what a lot of these kids don't understand is they think they can cruise, so to speak. They don't understand, like, there's a million other kids the same height that want the same thing that you want, and they're outworking you.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, as a parent who's bringing up a son now, and I know the expectations for my son is going to be, man, you ain't son, like you got to be. I was just getting on the other day, we were training, but I'm instilling him at the age of 9 years old now, like, you got to want this.
Right.
People going to come at you just because of me.
Right.
And what a lot of parents don't get with these kids nowadays, okay, it's good to have expectations for your child. Everybody should have great expectations for their child. But after a while, it should come in your mind like, maybe my child just don't have what it takes to get at the level I want them at or we thought about, but what can I do to help them get somewhere?
Right.
And I think a lot of it is too, you have a lot of sideline coaches.
Right.
And a lot of people that yell out things and really don't know what it takes
right.
to be, successful at high school, but also go on and get a scholarship for college.
Yeah.
Because they've never been there.
Right.
I mean, you have people around here who have never ever sniffed a college, a university, a college campus, and you're gonna tell a kid or a coach how to get somebody somewhere. No, like, stay in your lane.
Right.
And that's what I tell a lot. I think I do a good job of that coaching now, where I tell the parent, I don't coach you.
Right.
I coach your kid.
Right. And I do the same thing with some of the parents in my AU organization, and it's just a matter of being real with them. Unless you've been there, it's hard for me to have. It's hard for me to listen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I know they're older,
right.
but they haven't been through the getting up. They haven't been through the whole recruitment process.
Right.
And now when you get there, dealing with the pressures of being by yourself,
mm-hmm.
having the same responsibilities. I'll be real with you. I transferred because a lot of people don't know this, but I partied a lot when I first got to school.
Right.
And it was just different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can go back to the dorm and chill. Like, and as we all know, Kobe's from this area,
right.
and Kobe has never been that type of guy.
Right.
Like, nah, bro, I'm chilling.
Right.
And there's no secret to
exactly.
where he's at
right
now because he's locked in.
That's right.
And looking back on it as a player, I'm like, man, I had fun, but
right.
if I would have knew,
right.
I should have been locked in, eating right,
exactly.
and done everything the right way.
Exactly.
Lord knows where my career would have been. But just parents being realistic about, where you're. And it's okay. That's what I don't. That's what I don't.
That's
think
what
they
is
get.
hard to deal. I think it's really hard for parents to deal with. It's okay if your child doesn't get as high as you thought they would, because they killed in a rec league where there wasn't a lot of competition. Now they come to an AAU circuit or organization or high school where they playing a different dog every night.
Right.
That's trying to get the same scholarship you want. That's the fun of it, and I think that's what our generation is missing nowadays.
Right.
The competition aspect of everything.
Right.
Like, we were the type, all right, you who you are, I might not have a name, I'm coming at you.
Right.
And it ain't that I don't respect you, I'm going for mine too.
Right.
And I think that's the difference in the generations when we say, it's a different generation of kids. I think that's what people really don't understand. They just think we're saying kids are bad. No, kids are not bad.
Right.
But their mindset is totally different from what I was used to be when we faced competition. And that's the fun of the sport, competition. Right. The competition every night that you go out there, it's me and you, who wanted more, let's go get it.
Right. And I think a lot of it has to do with the cameras. The Instagram, I've never seen, shout out to my boys at Hoop State, who really kind of, Wellman kind of started the whole realm of following John, and then it kind of went with Baller's Life.
Right.
But now, it's just, and it's a great thing because it does help the kids to an extent.
Right.
But now some of the kids only care about that.
That's it.
And I think that's a huge problem. These
terrible.
kids are now, what's the boy, Farmville Central.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, them boys can go. Justin Wright, Baby T, Soldier, and the rest of them boys, they can really go. But they're superstars in high school.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's crazy.
That's exactly
that they're superstars in high school, and it's a good thing. But it puts so much pressure on kids that they're really good, but you have the other kids who aren't as good, but they see them and think that they're them because because of the mixtapes. And if I get a mixtape, then I can be the I'm him.
We were having this conversation yesterday, and I was telling some of my guys, we were talking about the Farmville Central and the South Granville game, and they was like, yeah, man, like, these dudes, all all this, you see all the videos, oh, he dunked on him, he dunked on him. And I told him, I said, guys, you guys look at it from the outside in, okay? These guys are human.
Right.
They make mistakes. They make turnovers.
Right.
They miss shots.
Right.
And one of my guys, we were going back and forth on it. And I told him, I said, see, that's the problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
Your mindset is already defeated if we were to play them.
Mm-hmm.
Because all you have seen is the highlights of
Mm-hmm.
them. But it's a little different when you got a little different dog sitting across from you saying, I ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean by the generation and these kids and this social media. And it's different because I tell anybody, if I had social media back when I played, if I had the media outlets like the Hoop States and the Ball is Life and all these other,
Not to mention trainers, bro.
My dad trained me.
Right.
And then besides that, if it wasn't him, I was in there by myself.
Right.
I said it would be a totally different, Ant you probably looking at
right
now. I was pulling from half court.
Right.
I was doing all
Right.
these. I was doing the sham guard. I was doing all these moves, stuff you haven't seen before. We didn't have that access to right. We didn't have that. Yeah. And like I tell Kat, I said, what if you didn't have that outlet now?
Right.
Who would you be? Would you still be as hungry?
Yeah.
Would you still be out here trying to do this?
That's
and I don't think kids really ask themselves that because they've been so spoiled by the whole social media aspect.
And I coach my 9th graders on my AU team, and I tell them all the time, even the 8th grade squad that we have, stop idolizing kids that are your age. Exactly right. It's really mind-boggling to me that you got the 9th grader that plays with Combine Academy, really good, Robert Dillingham. Yeah. Kid is tremendous.
Yes.
But my kid's in 9th grade. Like, you have just as much talent as him.
Exactly.
He just has more exposure. But if we put you in the same position, you got this. Like, he's not your friend. He's not your buddy. No. Let's go at him. When you play against him, y'all can be buddies off the court. But you have the same opportunity as this kid,
exactly right.
And it shouldn't be when you go to the tournament. You put him on your Instagram story like, look at the bro. It should be, man. I got that same opportunity. I want that spot.
Exactly. And that's crazy you said that. I remember last year we were at USBA down in Raleigh, and Carmelo Anthony kid was there, and some other kids there were top names. And I'm looking at kids like phones out, and I'm like, you about to play them next game. Like, he already got an edge on you already.
Right. Okay, so tell me about. You got recruited. You went to Campbell. You left Campbell and went to Barton. What was your reasoning for leaving Campbell? And first of all, what made you choose Campbell? Right. And then why did you leave Campbell?
Well, Campbell was best for me, and that's why I think a lot of people have to understand. Going to school, it's not about the name, so to speak. Campbell told me like, man, you gonna come in, you gonna be, right away. Like, you gonna come in, we're gonna give you the ball in your hands and everything like that. And that's what I wanted to hear. And I went there, and it was a great fit. And actually, what happened was the coach that recruited me, Billy Lee, he had actually got let go. So the summer I'm going down there with a brand new coach, Robbie Lane, who don't know me, didn't recruit me.
See, that's what a lot of kids don't understand that, because I went through the same thing. I went to Drake for 3 years, and then all my coaches got fired. Right. And it's just when you get a whole new realm of coaches that don't recruit you, it's the business of basketball, which is a whole nother side that people don't understand. Right. They're going to bring their recruits in that they think they're going to win with, so you go by the wayside at that point in time.
And he did not like small guards.
Right.
And he told me off the jump. And I remember we were at summer camp, and we were playing one night, and he brought in one of his buddies who was an NBA player, and he was out there, he was trying to push me around and stuff, and I started going at him. I went crazy. I had like 20 in like 5 minutes. I just started going crazy. And I was talking to him like, yeah, you want a big goal? I'm going off. I just lost it. Right. He looked at me, he said, nah, I could deal with you. He said, you a small guard, but you got a big heart. He said, I could deal with you. You a dog. And so everything started off fine. I was playing like 37 minutes a game my freshman year, 38 minutes my sophomore year. Honestly, man, I hated losing. Right. Like, and I mean, I knew that going into camp, but I thought like, all right, I can come in, we can change the culture, win a little bit. But it felt like he didn't want to do that with us. Right. He didn't coach to win games. Like, we would get him all the way to the end of the game, and then he would just take us out. And it was just, it got depressing, and that depression led to me not going to class, fell in love with a girl, and I was, off track. I won't focus no more, and my grades suffered because of it. Right. And my dad told me, I said I'm not happy here. I said, how am I enjoying more being a student than just
I'll tell you what,
athlete.
man, and bro, we went through the same thing. A lot of people don't know, you know, and I'm gonna be real on this podcast. My first semester at Drake, I was ineligible.
Right.
But I hurt myself.
Right.
So I got a red shirt.
Right.
So it kind of covered it, so nobody knew.
Exactly.
But you know, just being frank, people don't understand the pressures that go on you as you're finding out who you are. And it's tough, man. And I got to a point when I made the transfer, I didn't even want to play basketball. I said, man, you know what? We waking up at 6 a.m. and doing this, doing that. I'm not getting what I want out of it. Mm-hmm. So like, I see the students on campus throwing the frisbee. I'm like, man, sometimes I want to just have a good day and go play sand volleyball in the middle of the day. Right. But we got to go to the cafe and then go to a 3-hour practice and then go to the game. That's the pressures that the kids don't even understand. So
they don't understand it, and also at the same time, man, like depression is real.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a dark place, and I never been there before. My parents couldn't be around me 24/7 to encourage me, and you're there and you gotta fight your way out of it. And what happened was my dad called me, then Coach Sauter called me, and they said, "Well, Ant, what do you want to do?"
Right.
I said, "Man, I still like basketball, but these guys and this campus and this college just took my joy. I don't have no joy no more. Right. I have more fun when they're playing pickup with the guys than just I see them walk in, I just walk out." And they was like, "Well, it sounds like you need to change of environment." I said, I do. So immediately Coach Sauter reached out to Coach Levency, and he said, "Just bring him down for a game. I just want to talk to him. Bring him down for a game." So we went down for a game, and I went down to, they were playing that night. I can't remember who they were playing, and Coach Levency was like, "Man, you come here, it's yours." We losing Tim Black, who was an All-American point guard at Barton before me, and he was just like, "The reins will be yours." He said, "We've been looking for one. We can't find one, but you will be that." And so, but the first thing he said, "We got to get them grades right. Go and finish out strong. Then you might take a couple classes in the summertime. Then we get you in here and everything will be fine." And that's what happened. And I mean, it was coming back home was great for me to get back, grounded, back to what I know, back around my family, all my friends, loved ones, people that truly care for me. And, but me going off, being by myself and going through that, when I really felt like, I knew my parents were there for me, but nobody really wasn't there for me.
Right,
I had
by yourself.
All the values that I talked about earlier, my parents instilled in me, like, at night, I'm out there praying on my knees, like, man, God, like, I need help. Like,
and the first thing that you do when you get to that, it's a party every night.
Man, what?
It's a party every night in college, right?
And I was there.
Man, I'm out, bro. Like, I'm not.
It was a getaway for me. I mean, I didn't have to be in the dorm room around my guys. They were talking about basketball. I was like, man, I don't want to hear this. I ain't part of y'all no more. I'm going out here. I'm going to party with my girl and some of her friends.
Right.
And that's what it became. But, praying and getting back to who I'm supposed to be.
Right.
That love came back.
That core value.
And when I got back home, and Coach Levency, he told me, he said, "I want you to be a leader. I want you to take us to another level." And that's what happened.
And that's what a lot of kids don't understand. Even when you're going through a recruitment process and you choose a school, you have to choose a school where a coach is going. He cares more than just the business of basketball. Like, and you feel it. That's right. All right, But tell me about, because I did the same thing. I went from Division I to Division II. A lot of my reasoning was I wasn't going to sit out a year and work my tail off all year just to sit on and not go to away games. And so I wanted to play right away. And it was the best decision for me. We ended up going to the national championship my second year there. We lost, but it just rejuvenated my career. So, but I say that to ask, everybody is D1. I want to be D1. There's nothing wrong with D2 at all, and having a great career. So, did that play a part in your decision, or?
I looked at it as just playing ball, man.
Right.
I mean, I didn't look at a D1, D2 because I knew I was Division I. I knew I could play with anybody on Division I level. And when I went to Barton, he was asking me, he was like, how do you want the schedule? I told him, I said, I want to play the toughest teams we can play.
Right.
I said, I don't want no cupcake schedule. I said, if we can, scrimmage some Division I, that'll be good too. So. My junior and senior year at Barton, we scrimmaged like William and Mary, we scrimmaged Liberty, we scrimmaged ODU, and we beat Liberty at Liberty. We beat them, we whooped them, and they actually had a guy who was supposed to get drafted to the NBA, Larry Blair, I think his name was. And I mean, he was nice, and we whooped him there. And I mean, I told the guy, I said, man, and that's when I think not just myself, but other people saw it's not much parity between Division I and Division II. No?
Right, it's not.
It's like, you know, you have a lot of guys that fall through the cracks because maybe grades or maybe because somebody just didn't want to take a chance on Division I. Now Division II pick them up, and you look up today, Division II is whooping Division I's all the time.
Right.
There are some D2 schools I think that's out here that's better than Division I. So when it comes down to a kid choosing between Division I and Division II, the only thing that's maybe different is maybe the size of the school, maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, the facilities, anything like that. But I don't think that should come into play with the kid's decision. I said, if you have a chance to go play ball at the next level, no matter what division it is, that's a blessing in itself. Because you know how many kids out here want that opportunity. And but like I said, it's spoiled generation, man.
Right.
They see it on YouTube, they see it online. They be like, well, that could be me. I'm D1. You're not D1.
Right.
Like, no. We were just sitting here talking about the Farmer Central guys. Those guys work all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
And even still, some of them are just now getting offers.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
I
mean, you got to keep it real with yourself and understand, like, it's not a matter of Division I, Division II, Division III. If you get a chance to play ball at the next level, count it as a blessing.
And it's all about situations.
That's it.
Putting yourself from your high school team to your AAU team.
That's it.
To the people that you put around you.
Bingo.
To make decisions to put yourself in a position to play. Now, getting into finishing up with Barton, tell me, you got to walk me through the moment. If you guys don't know, Ant won the national championship at Barton, brought one home to the city of Wilson. The craziest 40 seconds ever. 10 points? 10 points in 40 seconds. Walk me through it.
It was, that whole week was crazy. I mean, that whole week was crazy. And I tell a lot of people, I don't even think that was the best game. It was the best game because of the stage that it was on, the national championship and how it happened. But our quarterfinal game to get us to the semifinal game, to get us to the championship game, the quarterfinal game was amazing because we should have lost. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you, we should have lost. But I hit a shot from half court in that for the win. Then the semifinal game, made the free throw. And then, we were down to Winona in the national championship game. They had beat us actually the year before in the Elite Eight. And we were the only team to get it within single digits of them. And we actually forced them to overtime. And I told myself that whole summer, I said I could have did more to help my team from, I just kind of, it was seniors, y'all go ahead. I regretted that whole summer like that, but that was in the back of my mind. I said, well, we're going to get back there. And, the game was going well. And they kind of took control in the second half. There was a timeout call when we came to the bench. And it really did, it felt like the game was over because the whole morale of our team was just like, all right, guys, we had a good year. And he was like, my coach came in the huddle and he was like, guys, we played hard all year.
Right.
And I'm looking like,
this ain't over.
Man, we got time left.
Right.
Like, we done this all year.
Right.
So I was like, all right, forget it. I'm going out shooting. If I gotta do what I gotta do.
Right.
And I just prayed. And I said a quick prayer. And I just asked, I said, God, like, I don't want to go out like this. Like, you showed me win. Like, that's the word that he showed my mom, that's where he showed my dad, that's where he showed me win. And all of a sudden, man, they started missing free throws. Come down, boom, hit a jumper, foul. They go down and miss another free throw. Come down, hit another jumper. They throw the ball in kind of like the game over, like really like air first, like he got through it right to him. Frail step in front of it, kick it over to me, foul, and one. Going to the line. We're down, I think, one. Go to the line, and I short on the free throw. And, like, the feeling that came over me, I was like, man, I can't, don't tell me I'm going out like that. Like, because the one thing that went through my mind was, this was what me and my dad worked on when I was a kid. Every shot that I took in the last 45 seconds was a shot me and my dad worked on when I was a little boy. And it's like everything was coming back and just, just full circle. And they went down. He missed another free throw. Then he made a second. So now we're down 2. We go down. Same shot my dad used to work on with me. Go up on the other side. Michael Jordan reverse. Top spin. Hit the corner. And it went in. So this drill we worked on all year for Barton called a back tip drill. We never did it. Like, we hated it. Every time Coach would make us do it in practice, we hated it.
Right.
The guy take off dribbling. Bobby Buffalo comes from the back. Boom. Back tip. We get it. He catches it. Kicks it up to me. My first instinct, how much time on the clock? I look at the clock. I got 2.5 seconds on the half court.
Right.
I'm like, all right. I went down and got full court pretty much in 2.5 seconds the other night.
Right.
I get a layup.
Right.
So I go.
But that's that. What people don't understand, that's a lot of processing.
That is.
That is. 3 seconds or whatever.
It really is, man. Because I mean, it's like I said, everything was flashing before me. Sometimes
Right.
just get to the rim, the rim. So I said, all right. So what I was thinking was, if I go in, I make the layup, we win. If I miss, we go to overtime.
Right.
But if I pull up and shoot a 3, I don't really give myself a chance.
Right.
So I said, forget it, I'm going to the rim. And I went, and if you see it, the video, I shot it, and I looked back because I was going so fast, I thought I had threw it off too hard.
Right.
So I looked back like that, and man, when it went through the net, it was just like emotions. Like
it was a
transition.
Amazing feeling.
Me leaving to come there, like
that was that triumphant moment of the depression at Campbell.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it was.
Flipped all the way around,
exactly
man. That's had to be a great feeling.
Yeah.
So you go from there to the Globetrotters.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a competitor, like you said. You don't like losing.
Right.
You going at everybody's neck. So how was it as a natural competitor going to the Globetrotters where you win every night? So like, how was that? You know, instead of pursuing a professional career overseas or trying to get into the NBA, how did that decision?
Well, I came out and I was working real hard, and I actually had a scout come up to me, and this is a lot of people don't know this. I had an NBA scout come up to me. He told me, he said, if you were 6 foot, you'd be making $20 million a year. He said, but they just don't like the fact you're 5'9",
right,
and you don't weigh enough.
Right.
That killed me.
Right.
Because that's something I can't control.
Right.
I really can't control.
And that's just strict politics.
Right, and I mean but I understood it, and that's what my dad was telling me back, even when we were getting into college. Transition from high school to college. He told me, it's gonna be tough.
Right.
But I understood it, and I didn't let it stop me. I got down a little bit, but I kept working, and I really didn't trust the overseas process back then because I heard so many stories about how to do with your money and staying here and staying there.
Right.
So the Globetrotters came along, and they flew me out to Houston, and we ended up scrimmaging. I'm thinking, all right, this what's up, and I literally scored like 25 points in like a 10-minute scrimmage game, and they were there going crazy. They was like, man, this dude's the real deal. And I knew some guys had left the Globetrotters to go play in the NBA, so I was like, maybe this might be right. It's just different.
Right.
And when I got there, they said, show us your tricks. And the only trick I could do was, spin the ball on my finger because I learned that from Pistol Pete.
Right.
And then after that, man, like, I think I embraced it because the Globetrotter stood for so much, like, positive in the world. And it wasn't about me being competitive no more. It wasn't about, me going to the NBA. It was about me making a difference in the world. I'm still playing professional basketball. I'm getting paid, traveling the world for free. But I'm making a difference in somebody's life every night.
Right.
And, for 2 hours out of every day, people go through so much, but for 2 hours, they come and pay their money to see me shoot the ball, but also make them laugh and think about all their problems. And that meant a lot to me.
Right.
So I'm there, man, and I'm enjoying it, but it was always that competitive side. It would kill me that I won't compete no more. And I mean, I would come home, and I would come home off of the road, and we would scrimmage at Greenfield. And I loved every minute of it. We would be on the road in practice, and we'll just say, man, come on, man, king of the court.
Right.
And we'll start competing, and the coach come out, we don't want nobody to get hurt. And I'm just like, man, I need this edge back. Like, how can I get this? How can I get this edge off? And then, about my 12th year, it was tough being away from my family. It got to the point to where it was a lot going on. And on the road and with everything, transition to Globetrotters were in limbo kind of with management and things like that. And it got to a point where it became more of a headache to wake up every day and go do a job because I was missing time with my family.
Yeah, and I guess that was gonna be my next question. We'll go ahead and dive into it. I mean, the decision, I guess, so like LeBron leaving Miami for Miami, but I guess I kind of got wind because we talked when you came to Greenfield and we worked out. But most people knew, but when it hit the paper, I mean, just to be honest, word on the street, why he do that?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah.
The Globetrotters, he making all that money at the Globetrotters. Why would he come back home?
Right.
Just walk me through the process. I know family was a big thing, but just
family
walk me
of course was number one. because I never seen, you know, my son play a basketball game.
Right.
I missed out on so many things, birthdays and different things that was going on in my family. Just laying in my bed every night, you know, waking up, seeing my wife every morning, waking up, helping my kids get ready for school, brushing their teeth, little things like that. People take for granted. I didn't because I missed out on that. Second thing was, man, I look back at my community and me coaching AAU basketball and helping coach some kids in the summertime. I really saw like there was a need for our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, the money good, the lifestyle is good, you know, I'm able to provide and everything. I said, but is this my next calling? Like,
right.
Because like I said, that competitive nature was still there. And
right.
the way to get back into it, I was like, well, maybe it ain't me playing no more.
Right.
Maybe it's me coaching.
Sure.
And I've always loved coaching. I've always loved it because, you know, that's the next best thing to playing. And I remember I came home one day and I picked my son up from Wilson Preparatory School. And I seen the executive director out there, Mr. Woodard, and I just told him, I said, you know, I heard you got an opening for a coaching job, basketball. I'm available. I'll come off the road and I coach. And he looked at me like with the same look what you were saying. People were saying like, you sure?
Right.
And I told him, I said, man, I'll leave right now. I'll drop everything if you give me that job. And he said, all right, we gonna talk. But it was like one of them like,
he didn't believe it. Yeah.
So then like other people kept coming to me like, were you serious? I was like, man, I would leave. Like, but I had told people this my 8th year.
Oh, you've been talking about this for 3, 4, 5 years.
Do it, but I don't think really people they knew I was real serious because they were like, man, he didn't give her that money to come on. And I remember Mr. Woodard had called me one day. I was actually about to grill. I was about to grill at the house, and I was walking around the house in the basketball shorts. And he said, can you come meet me out at the school a couple minutes? So, you know, I threw on, you know, some shorts and a t-shirt, and I went out there, and he had people from the board there.
Right.
And I was like, what's going on?
Right.
And he was like, you know, this kind of like your interview. And I was like, man, I wish you would have told me, you know, I would put on. But he said, man, we know who you are. Like, that ain't going to change who you are. Like, just sit down and talk with us. We want to hear your vision.
Right.
And he sat me down and he said, you know, why do you want to do this? And my exact words, like, no lie, I told him, I said, man, I want to change the culture for Wilson. I want to change the culture from kids not having good coaches in public school and all these different, you know, situations. I want to come back and I want to help these kids. I said that's a part of my ministry. That's a part of what I think God has called me to do, and I can do it through basketball. He said, wow. He said, you know, are you sure you want to leave all that money? I said, look, money is good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's gave me I have a great lifestyle. I said, but I've also been smart with my money. I said, this is going to give me the joy and satisfaction that all that other money can't bring me. But also at the same time, this is going to open up another door for me to even make more money in different areas, whether maybe public speaking or training or whatever in my camps. And he was like, okay. He said, well, let us meet, let us talk. So a month went by. I really hadn't heard nothing. I heard something, but not from him. Not like, you got it. I heard they interviewed some other people, and then one of my good friends that work out at Wilson Prep, he came to me and said, man, look, he said, they love you. He said, nah, I can't promise you you're going to get it. But he was like, you got my vote. Like that. And I was like, man, I appreciate that. But that was like, that still ain't settling. You know what I mean? So I had my basketball camp coming up at the school. And Mr. Woodard actually called me the night before. He said, I got your contract drawn out. I said, say what? He said, I thought he was talking about like for the school.
For the school,
yeah, my camp there.
Yeah.
And he was like, so I'm thinking, all right, cool. And then he started going into the details of the contract, and I was like, this dude talking about a job offer. He was like, yo, yeah, let's know you got a job too. He was like, we're gonna announce it tomorrow at your camp. Man, I dropped the phone and I started crying. And I went in there and I told my wife, it was late, she was asleep, and I told her, I said, man, I got the job, babe. I got it. And she was like, what? I said, I got the job. And so we sat down, and I picked back up the phone, I talked to him, and I said, man, thank you. I said, you would not regret this. And just you know, seeing how God blessed me with this opportunity to coach kids and mentor and be a father figure to kids, man, I wouldn't trade it for nothing else. I had so much fun this year. Like, just being on the sideline again and competing and waking up every day, studying film and seeing these kids. It's tough.
It is.
But at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
It's all worth it, and that's what they, you know, people just don't realize how much impacting the kid's life makes you feel whole.
Yeah, man.
And it's just, you know, it's amazing, man. That's why I just, and this is why part of the reason why I want to create this podcast, so they can understand.
Right.
You know, they're all into the social media
Yeah.
now, so we got to move with
That's
the times
right.
ourselves.
That's
but
right.
you know, with them hearing it from us who's been through it, makes it a lot easier for them, man. So,
yeah, man.
but anyway, man, we're gonna wrap it up, man. I appreciate you coming out on the first episode.
You having me, man.
Yes, sir, man. Anthony Atkinson, first episode of What's the Alternative, man. Make sure you go subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all social media. Let's get it.